Right now, we move to episode 3 for the SMS component. For this episode, we talking about the Thai Smile safety management system. So actually, it's the tailor-made of only for Thai Smile. SMS is generic things. It's for apply for across the world for because it's the ICAO regulation from Annex 19, which is the safety management system. So every country need to have this kind of SMS and every operator as well. But this is for the design of the Thai Smile airway. For the regulation or reference that's gonna concern to our Thai Smile SMS. The first one in the big picture, as I say, ICAO have the Annex 19 that regulate on the safety management system. So it start that from that point, and then ICAO when they publish this kind of annex, it might come with another kind of document which core ICAO document and with the number, and this is the ICAO document number 9859, which concern about the safety management manual. In this manual, there gonna be the guideline of how to implement to following the Annex 19 as structure. And then in our country, we have the authority as well, which is the CAT, Civil Aviation Authority of Thailand. And in CAT, they have air operator certificate requirement that have some kind of regulation mentioned about the SMS as well. So we have to follow ICAO, we have to follow CAT as well. And our company manual, we have the safety management manual, which is the SMM, and now is the third revision of the SMM now. So for the Thai Smile SMS, we will compile of these 4 documents. For the Thai Smile SMM structure will be 4 chapter, which is the 4 component of the SMS, which is the policy, objective, risk management, assurance, and the promotions. And now we are in the revision 03, and the revision date of 31st March 2019. And I would like to recommend to make sure that your manual that you're reading is the latest update manual, and you can get this kind of latest manual from the SharePoint, which I will mention later. SMS is not only PL system in our company. We also require other system to be go together, like a gear that need to help each other and circling together to make the progress and improvement. Also the quality management, security, environmental, occupational health, financial, very important as well, and the documentations that need to organize all the document in the company here. Every system here needs to go together and make a good and best environment in the company. What is the SMS? SMS is a systematic approach to managing the safety. So it's the management system. But I would like to say it a little bit easier than just the definition. Sorry. The SMS actually, what is the SMS is you just have to follow the component of the SMS, which we have 4 component here, and you follow it step by step and make it completely in every step and continuously monitor and improve on that component. Then you have a system now, and this is the SMS. So the foundation of the SMS, we have the four component. It's compared like a building, and you have a big pole here, like to become the basis of the building. And this four component is the safety policy objective, safety risk management, safety assurance, and safety promotions. In the document 9 9859 here in the ICAO document 9859 here, they compare the SMS like a tune box. So inside there they have many tune, and in SMS tune box we have some kind of safety management tune, maybe the ASR safety report, MOR mandatory occurrence report, LOSA line operation safety audit, FDA the flight data analysis or safety audit safety survey, or the safety library. This kind of tune is inside the tune box, but we have to know which kind of tune already inside the box. We have to find it easily and use the tune, use the tune that is matched to the task, and is have to find it on time and can use it effectively. This is the concept of the SMS as a tune box. Why we need the SMS? Why we need this? Because it's a systematic way and it's have a good guideline to follow step by step, and it can contribute to positive safety culture. And now we learn about the Thai Smile safety culture, 5 safety culture, and then it can improve the operational inefficiency and remove or reduce the human error down. And surely it's the ICAO and safety regulator requirement. It's a regulation. It's Annex 19, and it decreasing the insurance cost if you don't have some kind of incident or a serious incident. Then in the next year of your insurance premium will be reduced. It's improved reputation. If you don't have incident, yes, for sure. It means that your airline safe and the customer will confident in your airline. And then after that, a lot of customer would like to use your service and use your airline. Then it will increase the profitability. And what I like most is about is it cheaper than the accident and incident. Because if you have some kind of incident inside your company, it's gonna cost a lot of money even you have the insurance, right? But it will be the cost there. But if you just invest on the SMS investment, not that much money, but it will a lot cheaper than the accident or incident expense. The SMS must start from the senior management or the top management, because of the first thing is the policy. It needs to come out from the top management there and input into the system, and then we do the risk assessment, risk management into find the hazard out, assessment on it, and find a mitigate solution on that. And after that we make a safety assurance by making a monitoring program and to follow on the safety performance of our company. And after all this process, we make an output out to become the safety promotion, to make the information out from the system, then to give awareness to the staff and or the employee. Then we create the environment of the safety management system completely, and we gonna circulate it all the time, not ever stop. So in the SMS component we have 4 components, but we have a element on each component. So 4 component with 12 elements together. With this 4 and 12, if you follow it step by step completely, then you create a good SMS in your company. For the first one, safety policy and objective, is start from the management commitment and responsibility. It means that the top management need to know what is their responsibility on the SMS, and they need to commit that the safety is the first priority, that they have to give an input, make an investment, and commit to give the result, and to explore for the financial support, to give out the financial support to make the operation safe. This is the management commitment and responsibility. And the second one is the safety accountability of manager. This one, in the accountability term, they have um, to respond and accountable for the effect from the safety for the people concerned. And the accountability manager of Thai Smile is our chief executive officer or CEO, and currently is Mrs. Shalita Pippen as our CEO. Then CEO cannot only the person who convey the safety management in the company. She needs a team to support her. So we have the appointment of the key safety personnel here. We have the 3 safety committee to work from the basement of the pyramid and to the top of the pyramid here. From the frontline people, we have the SSAG, Safety Security Action Group, and then we convey up to the second level as the Safety Action Group on the management side, which we call the SSQC, Safety Security Quality Committee, and then we make up to the top one for the top management committee, which is the MSQB, Management Safety Quality Board. This is all the company here. For all the committee here, we combine as the key safety personnel to support all the tasks around to make the safe operation for us. And element number 4 is the coordination of the emergency response planning. Surely the safety is related with the incident and accident. So when something happens, the emergency situation happen, we need to have a good planning to respond to that emergency situation, to reduce the effect of that situation, and to make a sharp decision and clear communication, clear management to help relieve that situation in time. So we have to practice about this thing for example, the full emergency exercise or the tabletop exercise for helping us to develop this. For number 5 is the SMS documentation. We here have the flight safety document system. That is the system that mentioned about the document that could affect to the flight safety operation. And then we have the document level that is separate in the timely manner that the user need to get that kind of document in time for their usage. The second component is about the risk management. So we have to learn on if we would like to manage and control the risks, we have to know what is the risk first. Then we have the hazard identification program here to identify what is the hazards. We do the risk assessment, then we move to the mitigation of that risk. The component 3 is the safety assurance. We use the safety performance monitoring and measurement. We have the safety performance index to follow up each year that we have a good progress or not, and this have a methodology followed by the ICAO recommendation practice. And the second thing is the management of change. The change can lead to and introduce to the new hazards. So before As significant change, we have to study of the negative impact from that change first before we commence that change, and this will ensure and assure that your operation gonna be safe. The continuous improvements of the SMS. In this one, after we learn about the risks, we manage the risk well, and the risk level reduced down to the elapsed level, but it never stay the same along the time, because of the environment could never be the same along the time. Sometimes it might have some change around, and then the risk that already become the elapsed level might be go up high again, and then we have to make this kind of monitoring and continuous improvement on the SMS. The first component is the safety promotion. This is talk about the training and education. That's why you have to take this recurrent training class. You have to take the initial class, because training will create the knowledge for the trainee, and with the knowledge you will with the knowledge it will reduce the mistakes during the operations. And the third thing is the safety communication. In nowadays we have many kind of media and communication methods. We can use a lot of high technology. We have the light, we have the chatting application, we have the email, we have the videos and everything that we can do for the communication and convey the information for everybody to have the awareness on that information, to have the situation awareness on that. And this is all the overview of the each component, and I will go down a little bit on each component to review on the content. For the safety policy, the CEO has signed 6 company SSQ, means safety, security, and quality policy for the company. These 6 policy comprise of the management commitment, safety policy, quality policy, security policy, occupational health and safety policy, and then the non-punitive reporting policy. This 6 policy was signed by our current CEO and is effective from 1st of October 2018 until the end of 2019 here. This is the company order to publish the order for the all staff, and this policy will revise yearly to make it update and to ensure the policy from the top management. For the safety policy, our CEO is the accountable manager and the chairman of the Management Safety Quality Board (MSQB). So she has her ultimate responsibility on the implementation on the SMS and continuous improvement. And for sure, she has the full command, and she has the final authority to make a decision on the issue around the safety. So the safety policy, on the left hand side here, that is the statement of the policy that published in the company order to all the staff. But if we talk about the shell model here, if it's a long text like this, I think that some of the people don't really look to the detail of each wording here. So for the human factor, for the shell model, I think the photo in the right hand might be the answer to this kind of human factor. So I summarize the 6 policy to become a short and concise, and the keyword that the management would like to convey to the staff. And we have the signature of the CEO and her photo here to represent the communication between her and the staff. But for the safety policy, mainly the policy is the first priority. The safety is the first priority. So it's just take everything safe first, and then the continuously development our safety culture, that fight culture to have to let our company have the positive safety culture. Then we try to minimize the risk down to the allowed level, and then we need to have the adequate training for all staff to have the skill and the knowledge to do things to reduce the human error. And surely our CEO and top management will oversight and on the financial and the resort and support for the resort and the financial to bring in the technology and knowledge to help our SMS to improve and have the safe operations. For the safety goal here, we would like to maintain zero accident, and the number of Thai Smile employee 100% need to have this kind of training and knowledge, and we would like to create the safety culture here to have here in 5 culture that I mentioned before. Safety target here, we also would like to maintain zero accident and zero lost life, and we also would like to maintain zero incident from the violation. So violation we not accept, so we need to have it zero as well. But for the incident rate from the human mistakes or human error here, we can accept about like 5% of the number of flight sortie. Our CEO is our accountable manager of the SMS, but anyway, she would have a lot of tasks around. So in terms of practical way, the SMS responsibility was delegated to the Director of Aviation Safety, Security and Emergency, or DSS, as our Group Captain Surashet. He is the Director of the Aviation Safety, Security and Emergency now. He come from the Air Force and have a long experience on the investigation. He is the investigator for the Air Force and also have a joint training program with the NTSB, so he is quite expert in the area and would help develop the SMS of Thai Smile. For the safety review board here, we have the Management Safety Quality Board, which is led by CEO and or other chief will become the member here, with the Director of Safety and Quality to be the secretary. In the meeting frequency, we will meeting at least twice a year for this MSQB. Another level down, we call it as a Safety Security Action Group, and this SSAG will divide it into 2 groups. The first one is the management level. We call the Safety Security Quality Committee, which is host the meeting by the chairman is the Director of Safety and Director of Quality, and all the other director is concerned will be the committee with the secretary, which is the Manager of Safety, Security and Quality to become the secretary. And the meeting frequency is 4 times a year, so every 3 months we're gonna have this SSQC meeting. Another level is the frontline people now. Is the SSAG frontline people. Is the frontline sorry is the frontline operation that have all the concerned operation come from the flight operations, cabin operations, ground ramps, and customer service maintenance and occupational health as well, to become the team and have the monthly meeting that lead by the manager of safety and security together to gather all the information and the issue around the safety and security, and then combine the story up to the SSQC and the MSQB later. So this is the diagram show that have the safety security working group here and the reporting line. So we have the review board as the MSQB, we have the action group as the SSQC, and the SSAG is the Safety Security Action Group, will report to the SSQC and then up to the MSQB. And all the frontline operation will be the member in the SSAG group. For the documentation system, we have the Flight Safety Document System, which is the FSDS. Director of Quality Assurance is responsible for this program. For the FSDS, in this FSDS, this is the requirement from the ICAO and the CAT as well. So we have to have this kind of system. And the system of flight safety document system is will divide the information or the document into the 5 levels. The first one is the top level is the time critical information. This kind of information is mean that you have to design and give this information for the user who require this information immediately, and they have to access to this information immediately if they would like to use that kind of information for the operation. If they could not get that information, it will jeopardize the safety of operation. The second level is a time sensitive. This one is information that you the user required to get that information within a short time, not immediately but within a short time. So this is what we call the time sensitive. The frequently used information is generic information that we use, might be daily or basic, might be the operations manual and or other manual as well. For the reference information is the information that we refer to it. For example, the ICAO guideline, ICAO regulation, IATA recommend practice, or other CAT requirement, something like that, that we refer to that document. And then the last level is the information that can be grouped based on the phase of operation. It means that this kind of information, some group of people might create a grouping for that kind of information to easy for the user to enter and search for any information in the specific group. Safety risk management. This is the second component of the SMS. The process here will be 3 steps. One is hazard identification, second is risk assessment, and then we mitigate the risks. Firstly, we have to know about the hazards. Hazards is the condition, object, and activity with the potential of causing injury to person, damage to equipment or structure, loss of material, or reduction of ability to perform a prescribed function. So it's a danger around us. Sorry. So it means it's just the danger around us. This is what we call hazards. For example, toxic material, flammable material, radiation, traffic, working at a height, raised object, electrical, heat temperature, FOD, foreign object damage. Is a thing that should not be in the operational area of the aircraft, but it was there. For example, the garbage, the technical equipment, machines, some wrench over there. So this is what we call the FOD. The crosswind is the wind effect to the aircraft for the landing. Normally landing or takeoff, we would like to perform the aircraft into the headwind, but if it's come from the cross side or crosswind, it will raise up the risk of that landing. So this is the hazards for the pilot. All of this example is the hazards for for the example. For this example, you can see a snake there. This is might be to overweight for taking just one seat there. And this is the, for example, of the dangerous good is the toxic material or flammable material. So the hazard we have three types, which is the natural that come from natural things, maybe the weather, the thunderstorm rain, the icing condition. The technical is the something that the danger come from the technical thing, the machine equipment that have an error and failure. And then the another thing might be the economic, if they have a regressions, the budget control, something like that, it might be happen. So it's also one of the hazards. Source of hazard identification. Um, we have the internal source and the external. For the internal, it means that we can identify it within our resort, within our internal people. For example, the flight data analysis, the company voluntary reporting, audit and survey, and the live operation safety audits. This we can do internally. For the external one is the accident report, might be some kind of um, other airline that they have some kind of accident, and we go to look at the report and make the study on that, and we can identify some sort of the hazard from there. And the state mandatory occurrence system or the manufacturer defect report, this kind of thing is from the external source, from the state, from the other airline, from the manufacturer. This is the example of the hazard identification source. For the flight data monitoring, in our Thai Smile, we're gonna call flight data analysis as a flight data monitoring here, and manager of aviation safety would take care of this program. And we have a software named Airface to track for the flight operation of every flight that pilot fly, and then after the flight land, it's gonna send a signal to our server, and then we can analyze the data to see in which event that pilot take a risk on the flight operation. Then we can make a trend of analysis and make a suggestion and recommendation practice to the pilot. For the safety management system strategy, we have the reactive system or strategy. So reactive is mean we deal with something that already happened, so it's become the past, and we go to fix it, that something already happened. But in the proactive is mean present, it's something that haven't happened yet, but we found some unsafe condition already or unsafe action already, but some incident or accident haven't happened yet, so we try to control before it happened. For another one is the predictive future. It means that we predict into the future what is a tendency. We study from the statistical analysis, and then we can try to control and fix the problem before that future gonna happen. So in the reactive prevention, it means the fly, fix and fly. We fly and we have some incident happen, then we go to fix it to make an investigation, and then we go back to flying. But the proactive way is we go before the fact, not wait until some occurrence happens. And the predictive way, we go beyond the fact, we forget in the future and predict in the future, and action and plan to control that kind of risk in the future. So the hazard identification is the responsibility of everybody. So everybody in the company need to help together to identify out what is the hazards of our company, and then you can make a report, you can make a informal report or a formal report to the safety team, and you can do it anytime, anywhere that you found something that is the hazard. Then after that, the safety team can go to analyze on it and make a corrective action for the hazard there. The focus of the hazard identification. If you ever heard about the theory of the iceberg, here it say that the the iceberg in the sea, they have already the prominent part that show up above the sea level, just a little part compared to a huge chunk of that ice. So it's a huge patch that hidden under the water into the sea. And the prominent things we compare is as the accident. And the second level is the serious incident. The deeper level is the incident, and the deepest level is the latent condition, which is the hazard. And it say that if you have the hazard around 1,000 to 4,000 hazards, it can lead to 1 to 5 accident. So this is the concept of the iceberg. So if you don't want the accident happened in your company, so you have to try to reduce and control that latent condition to reduce down the number of latent condition there, and then finally the accident or the zero incident will not happen. The risk is the is expressed in the term of the probability and the severity. So when you talk about the risk, it's about the probability and severity. But you have to know what is the hazard first. The hazard will have the consequence from that hazard, and when you do the risk assessment, you assess on the consequence, you not assess from the hazard. For example, if you found a wet floor in front of the toilet, that is the hazard. It means that the spillage water should not be there in the floor in front of the toilet. So that is, we call it the hazard. And the consequence from that hazard is someone might be slipping down from that water spillage there. That is the consequence. And when you do the risk assessment, you do from the consequence, not the hazard. So you think about the probability and severity of someone might be falling down. You not think about the probability and severity of how come of that water, probability and severity to wet on the floor in front of that toilet. So you think about consequence, not hazards. For this example, I would like to explain on this two example photo. For the right bottom corner photo there is quite same as our aviation industry missions, because these three people have to crossing from point A to point B with the keyword safely. So the first person have only the balancing bar for him. The second person, they have some sling for him, and the third person, they have more. He have sling, he have a glove, he have a helmet, he have a life vest, a complete set of the PPE with him. If we think this is the hazard about this photo, the hazard is these three person need to working at the height. This is the hazard. So hazard is working at height is the hazard. Then the consequence from that hazard is these three people might falling down from that height. That is the consequence. And we do the assessment on the consequence. So if we think about the probability of the first person, left hand side is gonna falling down. It should be very high. If the second in the middle should be better, and the third one might be not big different with the second one. This is in the term of the probability. If the term of the severity, the first guy in the left hand, if he falling down, he gonna go to the date. So that is the severity. The second one also go to the date. The third one, even he wearing some kind of PPE, but from that high, he also go to the date. So severity of these three photos is the same. So the risk is the express of the probability times with the severity. So left photo has the highest severity. Have the highest risk because if we time the probability together with the severity, it's become the highest one. Because at the left photo here, it have a high probability with the high severity, so the risk is very high. The second one with the medium probability but the high severity. The third one is medium probability with the high severity as well. So for this photo, the left hand side, the guy with the balancing bar have the highest risk of operations. In the left photo here, we compare about the two intersections here. The first one is very cloudy and no traffic light with a lot of motorbike. Sorry. The right one here, we have another intersection. We have a good organized traffic light and less car there. Okay, so we think about the hazard of these two photos. It's the same hazard. It's about the traffic. It's about the traffic. So traffic is the hazard. But from that hazard, what is the consequence? So it's a car accident is the consequence from that hazard. And we will assessment on the consequence, not the hazard. So we assess on the car accident. From the left photo, the probability of the car accident should be very high because it seems unorganized. But the right photo, the probability of the car accident should be a little bit low because seems they have not so much car and traffic and it's very well organized. But if we think about the severity in the left hand side, it might not too high because of the speed using at that intersection should be a little bit slow because of the traffic jam. The right hand side, the severity might be a little bit higher because the road is free, and if some people driving is fast, then if they have some kind of accident, the severity would be a little bit high. So in terms of the risk is the severity times together with the probability. So this left hand photo, high probability, low severity. The right hand, low probability, high severity. So the risk of these two photos might be the same, not big different. But if we just saw on the photo, it might be an illusion that the left hand should have a higher risk, but actually the risk of these two intersections might be the same. So we learn on how to make an assessment now, then we can do the mitigation now, because the mitigation is to reduce the risk, and the risk come from the severity and probability. On the left hand side, we know that the traffic there have a high probability of car extent. So we reduce down by just setting the traffic light for them. Maybe have a training system um, for the driver around. Maybe have a procedure for them. Maybe have a any regulation for them to control on that probability. But on the right hand side here, we say the severity is high because of someone might drive very fast. So we have to control. We have many kind of control on the speed. Maybe the speed limit sign, the speed limit camera, and this too is we kind of is a kind of reactive strategy, because even though you have the speed sign or the speed camera, the driver already drive fast until they see the sign it or the camera and they got a ticket from the police. But for the human factor way and the proactive way method that I would like to introduce, if you add some bumper during the way before the intersection, that driver with the human factor, he definitely need to slow down the car automatically because of that bumper. So this is the way that we think about the human factor effect on the safety management system. So if you already access on the risks, it will fall down in three regions. The red one is the intolerable region, is mean not acceptable, need the investigation and risk mitigation immediately before go back to operations. The second region is yellow one here, is the tolerable region, is mean is a little bit acceptable but not really acceptable. So we have to reduce down the risk to the allowed level with the cost benefit study. And the last one in the green region here is an acceptable region, which is the green one. For the ICAO scale on the severity, is have A to E. A is a catastrophic, is meaning of the multiple date aircraft crash. B is a hazardous, is a serious or death to a number of people. The last reduction of safety margins, the major equipment damage. C is the major. Major is mean the significant reduction in the safety margins, maybe the serious incident or injury to a person. For delta D here is a minor, it means the nuisance or oblating limitation or a minor incident. E is negligible or little consequence here. For the term of probability, IQO define for 5 scale, start from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 is the most frequent, so it's likely to occur many times. 4 is occasional, 3 remote, 2 improbable, and 1 extremely improbable, the lowest chance of happening. To combine these two together, we're gonna got the risk metric here, and Thai Smile we decide our own risks different from the ICAO guidelines. Here we have the 4 risk scale, which is the green one here is low, is acceptable. Yellow here is medium, is acceptable but require the review of operations. And orange one here is the high security. If you would like to continue the operation, you need to require the approval from the management. But the top level here is the extreme, is the red color here. It means that you need to stop the operation and fix the problem first and go back to the operations. So the red level here is stop and fix it first. The orange, which is high, is need to require the approval from the management, and then require the mitigation and control urgently. And the yellow one is the medium. Here is the acceptable after review the operation, and the green one is the acceptable. So this is the process for of the risk management, and then we have to reduce the risk by reduce the probability and the severity of the risk. For the safety assurance, the third component now, we are using the performance monitoring method to monitor whether we have the good safety performance or not. And this monitoring we calling the SPI for the performance indicator, and Thai Smile we design the 10 topics, and then we have breakdown into the detail for some topic, and then we track for the monitoring process around the year that we can achieve the target or deviate from the target too much or not, to become alert level, to alert to make a urgent mitigation and protection. And this SPI will be announced by our CEO through a company order, same as the policy. And for this table example is the SPI of our previous year. Here is our TCAS RA. For example, number one, TCAS RA, we have a target of 0.074 per thousand flight. So TCAS is mean traffic alert for the aircraft when they gonna crash with another aircraft. So in this kind of warning, we set the target of happening this kind of event for 74 times in 100,000 flight. So this is our target, have to below this number rate, and we have the alert level if we go over this number, and then we have to monitor and action something to control it. The management of change, this one, the change can introduce the new hazards, so we have to think and plan about the negative impact before that change happen. The change may come from the external or the internal. For example, the change that might be the regulatory requirement change, or the reorganization of the traffic control change, or from the internal maybe the management change. We have the other organization change, we have the new equipment, we have the new aircraft we use the new procedure on operating something. This is the external and internal change. And before this kind of major change, we have to analyze and think about the negative impact of that change, because it's gonna have the new hazards, and we have to identify it out and control it first before the change happen. The continuous improvement of the SMS is about to keep monitoring on the hazards around, and even though the hazards that already identify and control the risks also need to monitor, because the risk never lasts forever, because some of risks that we already control it down to the elapsed level, but in the next few months or the next few years it might change due to some kind of environmental effect, and then it's become the high risk again. Then we have to control it with another condition again. So we have to continuous improvement on this kind of method for the SMS. For the last component is the safety promotion. Safety promotion is about to promote the safety by the training and education. We think about who had to train for the safety management system. But for our designs, our staff in the company need to train this SMS, and we can do a joy cast for many function together to so good for the CIM as well. And instructor try to adjust the course and the content to give the example suit of training background. And operational people might train on more on the operational side, but for the manager or the management might need to understand more on the management side or the management dilemma or the decision making on investment or production and protection. And training and education, we have the initial SMS training that every staff that come into the Thai Smile company need to take this class when they together when they make a orientation, and it's take one full day of training classroom. And then the recurrent SMS training, now we use the e-learning for this SMS training, and is every 24 months for this SMS recurrent training, so once per 2 year, and we use this e-learning for this system to making the e-learning for the recurrent SMS. For the safety communication, we have many way and media to make a communication out, to give the information out, or to make the awareness for the other staff concerned. So we might use the company order. Sometimes we use the safety bulletin, is issue like a monthly bulletin, and then a nice to know information in there. And the aviation safety recommendation, this one is um, the the document that we issue from time to time to recommend on some specific operation to a specific group of people, to notify them that is the emphasis of information for them to making the safe operation. And this is the need to know information type. Another thing is maybe the safety funny video that we try to convey the video out a little bit more funny to not let the staff too straight in their safety issue. And we have email, chat application, poster, symposium, seminar, many things that we convey for the safety communication to make the safety promotion. Okay, for the safety bulletin, this is the generic knowledge as a nice to know, and we try to issue it monthly. So it's we'll record and keep it in the safety management system, in the FSDS flight safety document system, and in the SharePoint that you can look for this kind of information in the time sensitive information. And the safety recommendation is a specific information as a need to know information for a specific group of people to aware on the operation, specific operation, and to remind and emphasize on the safe operation. So this is what we call the safety recommendations. And this is the example of our safety bulletin that we issue monthly, talking about some fatigue, aircraft navigation light, the generic knowledge. But for the safety recommendation on the right hand side here, we emphasize operation between the pilot and the ground operator to make sure that the main shock are already in place before the captain leave the parking bags off, because in some time we have a lesson learned that it's not I mean the aircraft had already not on shock into the wheel yet, but the captain released the brake and the aircraft start moving. So we have to ensure this operation safe and issue this safety recommendation to the pilot and the ground operator there. So another example here, I would like to show some safety funny video for you to share the idea of another thing that we do in our company as a safety promotions. Okay, this is the example of the teaser of safety funny video episode 1. Then I would like to share another video for the full video of the episode 1.
ตอนนี้ฉันยังไม่มองใครส่วนแบบนี้กำลังสบายไม่รู้จะมีแฟนทำไมทิ้งเบอร์เอาไว้ก็ดีนะ สวยสวยเลิศเลิศเกิดมาพร้อมความมั่นใจไม่คิดอยากมีคนรักเบื่อนักพวกผู้ชายเสื้อสิงกระทิงทั้งนั้นเขาว่าอันตรายแล้วจะมีแฟนทำไมให้ชีวิตวุ่นวาย
ngày mai mình đi sang vì thế nào của giờ thế này ui nó ăn chi lẻ thế nào nó chịu bỏ ช่วยเรามาเขาต้องมาช่วยเราแล้วนะด่าเลยวะเฮ้ยเดี๋ยวเป็นจุดหมายรักจะเจอเขาแล้วนะขอจับมือหน่อยก็แล้วกันรักมากสุดๆตั้งแต่ดูดิตกใจทำไมนี่ก็คนหล่อเหมือนกันVSNR รับไปสักไปอะไรอ่ะVSNR เอาเวิร์มเฮ้ย พี่กาเป็นอะไรอ่ะ
ชนประตูอ่ะโอ้ยนี่ครับพี่ VSHR
มันคืออะไรอ่ะ
VSHR หรือ Voluntary Safety Hazard Report คือการรายงานความปลอดภัยโดยสมัครใจ ไม่ว่าคุณเป็นใคร ทำอะไรที่ไหนก็สามารถแจ้งอุบัติเหตุอันตรายสภาพการหรือการกระทำที่ไม่ปลอดภัยได้
อย่างนี้ต้อง VSHR
มีสปอร์ตอีกเอาน่าจะมีกันมาแล้วเราจะมา
นี่ครับพี่ VSHR
เอาเลยเอาไปเขียน
อะไรวะ
VSR
เขียนทำไม
เขียนไปเถอะดี
เฮ้ย เกิดอะไรขึ้นครับ
แบบนี้ก็ต้องเขียนนะ VSR เอาไว้
ไม่ทันแล้วไหนเนี่ยมีเอสเอชา
อย่าตกใจในความหล่อของพวกเราสิ อันเนี้ยไม่ต้องเขียน VSHR หรอก
อย่างเนี้ยมันต้อง HR
เชียคุณสามารถหยิบแบบฟอร์ม VSHR ได้ที่ตามรายละเอียดด้านล่างเลย นอกจากนี้คุณยังสามารถรายงานผลผ่านระบบ SMS ได้ทั้งในคอมพิวเตอร์และสมาร์ทโฟน รองรับ iOS และ Android ด้วยนะครับ และที่สำคัญอย่าลืมลงทะเบียนในอีเมลที่ส่งให้ด้วยนะครับ
Alright, and this is end of our safety funny video example episode 1 now. And this is or the SMS component that we implemented in our company. So to pursue the highest safety level in our company.
Bye.